Hi, it's Ronnie here, and I just want to encourage you to embrace health today. And I want to tell you exactly how to do it and what you shouldn't do. If you're trying to change your habits, change the bad habits that are holding you back or hurting you in terms of your health, in terms of things you're eating that you don't want to be eating, or things you're doing or things you're not doing, I want to explore that a little bit in this video. And it's a beautiful day out here, so sitting outside, so it's nice. And one thing I want to say is, when you're making a big change in your life, if you finally realise you need to start making changes in your health, in your habits, in how you're eating, in your exercise and everything like that, the first thing you want to change is basically you want to make a decision. You want to make that decision that you're going to change, that you're going to embrace health, that you're going to embrace good habits, that you're going to change things, you're going to leave things behind. But that's just within your own mind. That's the first place you have to do things. You have to make that commitment and make that thought. And it's not about saying, I'm going to go and do a 7-day juice cleanse, I'm going to 30 days raw food or vegan or whatever. To me, these are actually anti-commitments in a sense, because it's not really making that decision that you're really going to change for good. It shouldn't be about a 7-day or a 30-day or anything like that, or any kind of challenge. It should be, I'm going to go towards changing for good, and I'm going to start building towards that. And the first thing you want to do is just start thinking that in your mind, start believing that, start envisioning yourself being that kind of person. Things like, I've heard people say, affirmations and stuff don't work. These things do work. It takes time. And the way you want to do it, you want to either write it down, or you want to think maybe before you go to bed. You want to just tell yourself, program yourself, think about the fact that you're going to make a change. And if you keep thinking on like that, and you keep imagining it, and you keep maybe writing it down, then changes will start to come. But here's the thing, a lot of people are too scared to do that, because they know how powerful that is to make that decision, and they don't want to leave the past behind yet. I remember being in a sort of a class years ago, a kind of like a meditation or a development class, and the person gave out a list of affirmations and passed it round. And all the affirmations, all the people in the class were sort of spiritual people, so the affirmations were all like, I'm a immense spiritual being of love, or whatever, it was all these kind of statements like these kind of big spiritual concepts, like I'm an infinite being, or whatever it is. And then there was one that appealed to me because it was just like, I am the essence of health, or something like that, or I am in good health, or it was so simple, and yet no one picked it. And the reason people are quite happy to think of themselves as a spiritual being, or as a this and that, because it's just like a concept in their mind. But actually saying I'm the essence of health, that kind of statement to yourself will start a chain of reaction of, actually thinking about that concept, and actually thinking about what would it be like to be in your best health. What would that be like? And that's an amazing question to think. What would it be like to be in optimal health? That's the thing that when I got into raw foods, that question amazed me. It was like, what would that be like if you actually just ate the most healthy diet and cut out all the crap? What would that feel like? What could you do? That kind of thing amazed me. And I think for a lot of you out there, it's something that you're probably thinking about as well. You're thinking, what would I be like? What is my potential if I stop putting energy and time towards the bad habits and start just going towards the good habits? So the first thing to change is making that decision that that's what you're going to do. You're going to become that person. That's who you're going to become. And, you know, using statements like, you know, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm in perfect health, or that I eat that I've given up all my bad habits, or whatever it is. You know, once you start thinking like that, you do that before you actually try and make a change. Like, oh, I'm going to just start eating loads of fruit today. The problem is a lot of people who do the thing like the 7-day cleanse or 30-day cleanse, or I'm just going to eat raw for a while or whatever, they're not embracing it. It's an anti-commitment, as I was saying. It's a way of sort of pretending that you're changing your health. But you want to make a decision. You want to sit down and really think to yourself, is it really worth, you know, all the junk food and stuff? On this lifestyle, when you change to a healthier lifestyle, all you're thinking about is the next meal, or the meal that you're eating, right? So it doesn't, like, the fact that you enjoyed and ate junk food or whatever for 10 years, 20 years before this, up to this point right now, that doesn't, what am I trying to say? It's only about your next meal, is what I guess I'm trying to say. And all of that stuff, you could have enjoyed every single one of those, but who cares, you know? So by moving forward, what's your next decision going to be? So all I'm really thinking about, I'm not thinking about the next 30, 40 years I'm going to be eating just fruit or raw vegan or whatever. I'm just thinking about my next choice today, you know, what I'm eating today. And my next choice is going to be getting some fruit, getting some good fruit. And I want to get to the stage where I'm not really thinking about it that much. I want to try and improve my environment so that I'm surrounded by fruit, and that I meet more people that are interested in it, and that want to eat fruit as well, and that want to get healthy. But, you know, changing your mind, making that decision that you're going to actually build towards health. And in terms of healthy diet, it's got to be in line with the natural diet of human beings, which is a diet based on fruit. Now, whatever else that means, I don't fully know, to be honest. You know, is it 100% vegan? Is it 100% raw? Is it 100% whatever? Personally, I like to think 100% raw vegan is the best, based on fruit. You know, even fruitarian probably, and probably the 80-10-10 diet is the book to read. But definitely it's a diet based on fruit. Whatever the diet is, the natural diet or the best diet of human beings, it must be based on fruit, and it must be based on delicious tropical fruit you like to eat. So you want to start changing that attitude first. Gradually you will find the desire, the energy, the emotion will start to grow in you from making that decision to make the change. From making that decision, from changing your thoughts, you start to explore, you start to change, you start to think inside yourself, and you start to question when you're eating things, you start to feel the effect it has on you. You start to become more aware of how it makes you feel. You start to question whether that's worth it. And then you get that real desire to make the change, to make the experiment. And then you look for the information, you get more information, you find out how to do it, you maybe go and meet people, you go to an event. So it's a gradual process like this, but it starts from making that decision, right, I'm going to commit to my health because it's the most important thing. And it's absolutely the most important thing for you in your life, is that you have a foundation for, because whatever you want to do, you've got to have that foundation of health. You've got to have the energy to do it. You've got to have a body that is as healthy as it can be. Essentially, what health is having a body that's working for you, so that there's no, it becomes like you're not thinking about aches and pains and tiredness and you know, you want to be able to just go on and get on with your life, and your body's just working for you. But in order to get your body to work for you, you've got to do some work for it, and that is the choice of health. It's making a choice for your body. You're not thinking anymore about the mind. And there's too many people that get caught up in, this is what I want to eat, this is what I think is good for me, this is my type of diet, this is the thing, whatever. That is you getting caught up in your mind. The diet of human beings is a diet based on fruit. Eat it, try it out, feel it in your body, right? And the body will say yes. It's as simple as that. Now, do I have the science for you and everything else? Well, there is science. I mean, we are a frugivore. We are similar to the other apes that live on fruit. And if we were to be in a situation where we couldn't cook anything, it would be very hard for us to do anything but live on fruit. Maybe you could live on raw meat, but it's not. It's a hard lifestyle especially for a community of human beings to be able to sustain a large community. It's hard. We are frugivores. We are fruit eaters. You are a fruit eater, whether you think about it, when you want to believe it or not. And whatever you're eating now is a second choice, is a compromise. You know, even within raw food, you can eat stuff that's a compromise. It's not as good as eating whole fruit. So that is the most direct and clear path towards health, is embracing a fruit-based diet, preferably vegan. But I mean, if you do some kind of fruit-based diet and you're eating insects or something, I don't know. There's a lot of people that think, oh well, the apes are eating insects. So personally, I've never had the desire to eat an insect. I don't think I ever did. I don't think it's part of the human diet either. There's a line in the 80-10-10 diet where Doug Graham talks about human beings are fastidious eaters. We clean things, we check, we look at things, we open things up, and if we see like maggots or little things like that, we throw it away, we get disgusted. So I'd be surprised if if insects and grubs and things were a part of our natural diet. But I don't have the full, I don't know if there's enough research or information on that. But it's a diet based on fruit, and if you start to explore that and think about that and eat more fruit, you become more informed yourself. You start to change. When you start to eat more fruit, you start to change. You start to become more attracted towards fruit. You start to realise how it is such a fundamental part of yourself. That all your instincts, all your desires when it comes to food are based around this idea that for millions of years we were in forests picking fruit from trees. We were looking at the colours, we were tasting the sweetness, we were opening up the fruit. You know, almost all food comes in a packet that you open up and then you throw it away. Which is fine if you're in nature and you're doing it with fruit, but when you're doing it with plastic, you know, it's not so good. But that's our instinct. We take things, we eat part of it, we throw part of it away. We're natural, curious tree climbers, and climbers in general. And all parks basically around the world, they have to cut off the limbs of the trees, the twigs of the trees, sorry, the branches lower down, because people go and climb trees. They can't help it but climb trees. When we're out in nature, we see colour. You know, we see the colour dotted amid the trees. We've got incredible eyesight for that. We've got an amazing memory for geographic sort of memory, spatial memory. That is how the human memory works. If you think you've got a bad memory because you can't remember someone's name, just remember that people's names was irrelevant for a long, long time, and we were probably living in smaller groups. So if you know, you probably actually know thousands of people's names if you include famous people and all the rest of it. So you're probably doing better than you really need to. But the real amazing thing about your memory is that I could come to your house and I could say I want some fruit or whatever, and you could probably take me to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 places that you could get fruit, whether that's foraging from trees, whether that's shops, whether that's fruit markets, whether that's restaurants. You've got a spatial memory created in your mind of your entire city, you know, of your entire, wherever you live, including natural areas and mountains and lakes and, and walkways and cycle tracks and roads. That is the human memory, and we had to have that because we are fruit eaters. We had to follow the fruit. We had to remember where the fruit was. We had to reach it at the perfect time. You know, this is the symbiosis. It would have been eating this fruit at this time and moving on to, oh, that other fruit's going to come into season and that's over there. We're very seasonal animals in that sense, you know. We appreciate the seasons, the little changes. Well, the changes of fruit, really. we're non-seasonal. Really, we're non-seasonal animals, but fruit is seasonal in the sense that it comes into season. But I'm not talking about winter, spring, summer. It just has its own season. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the changes. We appreciate variety, which is part of our diet, natural diet, variety. So you want to get a variety of fruit rather than getting limited down into, well, I'm just going to eat, you know, bananas and all that. And that's cool as well, mono diet, but you really want to embrace the variety and try to expand the amount of fruit that you like. So don't just be like, well, I only like apples and bananas or something. You want to learn to like lychees, you want to learn to like durian, you want to learn to like jackfruit, even if you don't like it at first. You want to learn and develop because you want to eat as much as possible, and much variety. So make the change in your mind, start to make that commitment, move towards fruit as the basis of your diet. A lot of fruit, you know. You need to get your calories from fruit. This video is 17 minutes long, so thanks for coming along for the video. But it's important to make that decision right now. You know, your health is the most important thing. There's nothing more important. You cannot make it second best your whole life, or else you're going to reduce your life. You want to start making it an important thing, and the thing is, all you need to do is make it important for the period of time that it takes for you to start making the changes, making the habits. So once you've got your diet quite good, once you've got other things coming into alignment, your better relationships, you're growing emotionally, you know, mentally, physically, you're doing some exercise. There's so many aspects of health, essentially just things that make you feel good. Once you start working on getting your sleep better, and I've got a lot of things to learn, but really the diet is the big thing to change. Diet is what's people's on people's plates, that's killing people, that's making them overweight, that's making them sick, that's making them not feel good. And that's what you want to change. You got to change it to a fruit-based diet, preferably vegan. That's kinder for the animals, better for the planet. But fruit-based, mostly raw or entirely raw. And once you've made those changes, then you can get back to doing whatever you like. Like, you can start putting your energy into other things. But put your energy into this, put your thoughts into this, make a commitment, and you will benefit from it. You'll continue to benefit from that decision for the rest of your life. And it'll be a longer life, a more full life, a richer life, in which you will achieve more and get more out of it, because you've got the energy. You're not diminishing your energy with the food, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve when you take off the boundaries, you know. So make a commitment now, and if you're really serious about this, if you really want to make that change, which I think you should, you might want to consider coming to the Fruit Festival in the UK, the UK Fruit Fest. And I guarantee you're going to learn all of the information that you need to make the changes, to be happy about making the changes, and to be confident that you're doing the right thing. You're going to get all the recipes you need, all the fitness information. You're going to be able to start a fitness program without ever going to a gym or anything else. You're going to meet loads of friends, you're going to meet loads of amazing people, and you're going to start a change in your diet that's going to impact you for the rest of your life. So visit the website www.fruitfest.co.uk. Go and check that out. You can just register for more information now if you like. Or you can, pretty soon we're going to open for registration. I'll give you more information about that. So that's what I would recommend you to do. Come to the event, and I guarantee you're going to absolutely love it. You're going to change, you're going to meet friends, you're going to get on that path. So thanks for listening to me today, and let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video. Share it with your friends, share it with other people, and if you want to hear more from me, you can always go to my website. So thanks a lot.